Hello, folks. Welcome back. It's still Journalist Hangout. We'll talk politics now. You know that the FCT minister and the immediate past governor of Rivers State, Wike, has become a political gadfly, if you understand me. He's not in doubt. He continues to pose potentially upsetting questions. And so, ahead of the National Executive Council, the NEC meeting of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, tension brews between former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and Wike camps for the control of the party. Now, the possibility or otherwise of Wike remaining in the PDP but working for the ruling All Progressives Congress APC has refused to go away. Atiku, on the other hand, is hoping to contest for the PDP's presidential ticket. Recall that the North Central Zone is expected to present its anointed candidate for the position of party's national chairman to the NEC on April 18. A battle royale is in the works. Now, we should have somebody to join us. We'll have Obiaruku Ndukwe, President Citizens Quest for Truth Initiative, joining us. But for now, Dotun, we'll talk hard politics now.
You know, for me, I've always said it's going to be the 2027 presidency in the PDP. It's going to be between Atiku and others. And we are seeing it happen now. And
so
what I've seen...
You see former Vice President breasting the tape.
Except he decides not to. You know, we've said it here. It's the way Nigeria's politics runs, you will know.
Predictably.
It's predictable. Because where the money is where the votes will go.
Okay.
And we know where the money is. So we know where the votes will go. But beyond that is the fact that I'm enjoying this war of words.
The dog fight.
Yes, a lot of things coming out now. And if, as you described Wike, in terms of his capacity to blow odds, and then he has now added a spokesman, let's say Larry Oranyika, who also has that knack to throw words around.
Yeah.
Then you will know that the Atiku camp is in for a very hot one.
Okay.
And I think the head-hunting of Larry Oranyika is deliberate by Wike.
All right. BK, how do you weigh in on this now?
Yeah, it will seem like the conflict between Atiku and Wike will never come to an end. Wike expected to be picked as vice presidential candidate. Atiku ditched him and went for
Ifeanyi Ukwa.
Yeah, the Delta man.
Then governor of Delta State.
Yeah.
Usually, when you have a primary election, one person comes first, the other person comes second.
Okay.
If you pick the person who comes second as your running mate, it doesn't always work. In Lagos here, in fact, when somebody contests against you,
you are safer with the other person.
Okay.
You are safer to
you
not
are at
touch
advantage
that person.
position. Okay.
Tinubu chose, or the Alliance for Democracy leaders chose Buckner as Tinubu's running mate. But they were having a running battle throughout. They never really worked together. So much suspicion, name calling and all that. In the end, the woman left the scene quietly.
Wow.
Yes, enabling Tinubu to bring in Pedro.
Yeah.
So, because they had contested together, the person who contested against against Emmanuel later became his principal. We'll be seeing that person occupy a stool that in his mind
should have been
him occupying. So that rivalry will never go away. You'll be thinking of what should have been. what should have been. I could have been the governor. I could have been the governor.
It happened in Kano
because these leaders ganged up against me. So it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Now, Atiku is saying, oh, your actions show that I was right in rejecting you. And Wike is saying, oh, I will still work against you in 2027. So don't go and rest. Oh. As long as I'm here, I will work against you.
Okay.
Wike played a big part in ensuring that Atiku didn't win the election. Remember what happened in Rivers? Those who were carrying money and they were arrested, the dollars that they had
Taken from them.
The intel to make that seizure was provided by Wike. And you can imagine the difference that that money will have made on election day.
Yeah, yeah.
Huge one.
You know? So people like Wike, younger people in the PDP, they don't want Atiku to be presidential candidate. And Atiku must know that. Big people in politics are usually surrounded by liars, people who don't tell them the truth. But if Atiku thinks that with young people like Wike and some of the governors, Bala, Makinde and others, if he thinks that it's going to be easy for him to be presidential candidate the way it had always been.
He should think again.
Because he's been standard bearer of that party repeatedly.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? You would think that they created that party for him. But I can tell you that the conflict now, they want to make sure that, yes, this time around, it goes to a younger person.
Okay.
So this is what we are seeing. Some of those governors may not come out to talk now, but some of them are supporting Wike. I was sitting here with someone who said, Wike is finished. Oh, and I said, oh, did you remember that that meeting, that it was a caucus meeting that they attended? Have you forgotten that it was Makinde that went to bring Wike out of his car to enter the meeting? You never can tell with politicians. Some of them may not openly back Wike today.
Yeah.
But around the fact that Atiku should not be presidential candidate, that he has had a lot of chances, I can tell you that there are many young people who are reasoning the way Wike is reasoning.
Okay.
And this is the source of the conflict.
All right, folks, we have joining us now the President's Citizens Quest for Truth Initiative. Obiaruku Ndukwe is her name. Madam, I greet you. Welcome.
I greet you, my brother.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you.
You can see I'm doing a double celebration, Mother's Day and the Salah.
Oh,
fully dressed.
Here we go again.
Double congratulations.
Double congratulations to you.
Thank you, my brother.
So
Thank you.
We are talking hardcore politics now. So how do you weigh in here?
Well, we are. I'm sure we are used to all this. I mean, it's always the case towards the build-up of the towards the next election. You see political stronghold being battled for. People are struggling to get a larger chunk of the voters, and of course, for the parties, for the political parties, the internal game is on. For PDP, you can see what's going on. Atiku is still holding on strong. You know, he wants to be the presidential candidate once more. I don't know how many times he's going to have to do this, maybe before he decides to quit. You know, like they always say, well, keep trying and, you know, keep pushing until something happens. Maybe he's taking a cue from Buhari or so, hopefully believing that one day it will be his turn, you know. But the truth is that everybody doesn't have the same grace. Everybody doesn't have the same purpose, and everybody doesn't have the same destiny. So, but you can't ask him not to do what he's doing anyway. It's his right, you know, to vie for that office, the exalted office. So he's been vice president, so maybe by the time he becomes president, he will now be okay. But anyway, it's not about wishful thinking. It's not about your dreams. It's also about crossing the hurdles, you know, ordinarily, by now, Atiku ought to have been used to the hurdles on his way. There are landmines, they have been there, you know, and I think that practically one of the worst or the biggest landmines that he's had is the issue of corruption, which was a tag, you know, given to him even by his former boss when Olusegun Obasanjo, President Olusegun Obasanjo, and he's tried very hard to see how he can clear that mess, you know. So, but he's still sticking. Although in the last election, we saw him get a large chunk of the votes, very close to President Tinubu, but again, he couldn't also scale through. Some persons felt that it was because of the presence of P2B. But now, on the issue of Atiku and Wike, the question is, what actually went wrong? I'm a Rivers person. I live in Rivers State. I do business. And I know, and I'm, of course, very close to the powers that be for some time now. I'm aware that Atiku had visited Wike before when he made his ambition, you know, public, that he wanted to run again. He came to seek Wike's support, and then Wike was governor. Of course, as governor, he also had a lot of resources at his disposal and all that. And Wike, don't forget, was like the one who was holding forth the PDP at a time when everybody, like when Jonathan lost the election and PDP was kind of in disarray. So Wike, I think Atiku knew the strength of Wike then, and then needed his support. And then, of course, nobody can really tell exactly what they discussed. But I think that for Wike to be reacting the way he's reacting towards him, there must be something that the public does not really know. I may not want to push out some things. Maybe as we go on, the conversation will probably bring out some of the facts. But I think that there's something between the two of them that we don't know. For Atiku to have gone to seek Wike's support means that, one, he knew Wike's strength. Two, probably was looking in the direction of the South-South for a running mate, and maybe Wike as running mate if he won the primaries. But shortly after he left, I think Wike also found out that it's also possible for him to also run, particularly when the issue of power rotation, you know, from the north to the south was there. Buhari just was going to finish his 8 years from the north. So for Wike, he felt that power should come down to the south. We don't know at what point he decided all that, but the fact remains that he was insistent on that. And so when the primaries didn't favor him, and then again, like they said, he was to be Atiku's running mate, but along the line, I think some persons played him out. And then, of course, if you're also in his shoes, you will fight back, considering the fact that you have invested enormous resources, not just in the PDP, but even in Atiku's campaign. You know, his primaries, before his primaries, Wike, I know, invested a lot of money too. So what he needed to do was to probably fight back, and he found a comfortable pillar to lean on, and that was the APC, because APC had zoned their ticket or had gotten a presidential candidate from the South. So it was easy for him to align with Tinubu. And of course, I know that he had a good relationship with Tinubu even before he became the APC presidential candidate. So I think it was a good one. That's how to put up a fight. You don't expect somebody, you know, to just put in so much and then just go back home and relax. Some persons argue that Wike should have just relaxed. After all, he's not the only person who's built a party and probably didn't get favored. Well, people are different. People are wired differently. You know, so that's it for Wike.
Do you see by any chance these two persons forgiving one another? Because it will seem like they've reached a point of no return. Do you see the possibility of these two individuals even forgiving one another?
Well, you never can tell. Politicians will always tell you that politics is based on interest. You know, no permanent enemies, no permanent friends. But for now, I do not think that there will be that kind of reconciliation. Yeah, they could they could both decide, to sheath their sword, but of course there will be some terms and conditions. Don't forget that Wike, the issue of River State, the Fubara thing, somehow I think Fubara had the support of Atiku and those who were anti-Wike in the PDP. So you can see that right now, the way it is, I mean, Wike was lucky to have his camp get the Supreme Court, to also give them judgment, favorable judgment, even though it wasn't implemented, and then that somewhat led to the emergency rule. So we are also hoping that maybe by the time the emergency rule is done with, and if they are able to reconcile the two groups in Rivers, maybe there could be some concessions here and there, and that way, maybe Wike might decide to say, okay, fine, I've gotten what I want, or the other group. But you see, the fact that Atiku meddled into the affairs of River State at a time Wike was having these issues with Fubara, I mean, that was like adding more fuel into the fire. So Wike keeps seeing Atiku as the enemy, as the one who is the mastermind of the whole, let me put it, disloyalty of, Fubara, his son, his political son, So I think that that's basically what Atiku should have considered. Maybe he would have found a way out of it, in the conversation and in discussion. But, coming all out, to show that, particularly with his supporters, you had the ABA Sekibos, you have Uche Secondos, you have Austin Opara, you have Celestino Meya, and quite a number of them who were the Atiku people at the last presidential election. They were now on the side of Fubara. So for Wike, it is Atiku sending his men to give Fubara support and ensure that Fubara does not get back to him. So I think he sees him more of a political foe right now, and he feels that that's the man to crush, even in the next 2027 election. Whether Wike is running or is not running, I don't know. But this is the basic thing. I'm not sure there's going to be any reconciliation right now. I'm not sure. I don't see that.
Okay.
But,
but we are not speaking as a prophet, but you are speaking as an analyst. Thank you. I like that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, madam, but hear this. In April, the chairmanship position will be contested, and who becomes chairman is key in all these things. So I'm looking at Wike, Atiku, jostling for who becomes chairman of the PDP.
But let me even come in here. It's not just about Atiku. There are other factors on the other side.
All right.
The Atiku group, what is supposed to be the opposition to Wike or the anti-Wike group, it's kind of also split now. We have the governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, also leading a camp because he also probably has his own ambition. We also have maybe Shey Makinde, who is supposed to be one of the G5 governors, Wike's man. Well, he also probably is showing up. So Atiku does not control the entire anti-Wike group. Let me put it that way. So it's like factionalizing his own group, and that may give Wike's group the upper hand, to produce the chairman. And don't forget, even before then, there could be some, alignments and realignment, particularly because I believe that 75% of those people on the other side, at the anti-Wike group, do not want Atiku. So they want to try somebody else and try something else. We saw Bala Mohammed visiting River State severally and, getting the governor's forum to support Fubara and all that. So it's also possible that they will, instead of aligning with Atiku, they will align with Bala Mohammed. So what it means is that that camp is already split, and that will also probably give Wike an upper hand, in bringing who the chairman is. But it also left for Wike to also have, some kind of meetings, concessions, and then also align with some other persons who he may even think they are not with him, because politics is about numbers. So towards that election, which is key, who becomes the chairman of the party, You know, Wike needs to probably shift some ground, make some new alliances, and get more people on his side.
Thank you, madam. And let me confess, you are the presenter's delight. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you.
Have a great holiday. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah,
thank you.
Gentlemen, in politics, as they say in other spheres, when two elephants fight, they say it's the grass. But Dotun and BKO, when two elephants indulge in a love tango, it's the same grass.
Leave that one. Leave that one.
It's the same grass. The grass is the onlooker, the everyday Nigerian.
We are students here. We are students here.
Okay.
We are young students here.
Okay, I'm sorry.